Hi, everybody. It's Tara Boothby from Sojourn Psychology, and I am here with Chris Swiech. Did I say it right? All right.
Yeah, you said it right.
And Chris is actually one of my purely Instagram friends. Like, Chris and I connected on Instagram, and we've been following each other and just listening to what each other's putting out there. So it's kind of cool to share this experience, with some of our Sojourn followers. Chris does a lot of really cool things. So on Instagram, he is Depths of Dark Side, but he also has podcasts, and they're on like every platform, which is from the depths of darkness to the light of success. So I guess for you, Chris, can you tell us a bit about how you became, I don't know what you call yourself. Is it a podcaster? Like, is there
Yeah, podcaster. That's the right name.
That's awesome. How did this all come to be for you, Chris?
So last year, I got back into recovery. You know, I'm a recovering addict, so everyone knows and stuff like that. November 18th, 2019. You know, I was in a really, really dark place at that time in my life. And I needed lots of change, you know, for myself, you know, for my family, for my kids, my partner, everyone, you know, needed change and stuff like that. And before I even started podcasting, though, I decided to take a risk and change careers totally. You know, I had never thought of this, but people were pushing me to go become a car salesman. Well, at the beginning of the pandemic, I got my first car sales job just before the beginning of the pandemic, and then everyone got laid off at work. The whole country of Canada came to a halt, basically, you know, back in the middle of March there. And I ended up getting laid off, losing my job, you know, and just starting my new career. So as an addict, if people don't know addicts, you know, we always got to be doing something and, you know, just to keep ourselves busy or whatever. And, you know, that's what they said when I first got into recovery. You always keep yourself busy with something, you know, so you're not thinking about going out and using or whatever. And I thought, well, no better way than to start a podcast. You know, I had no clue what I was doing. And I just went and did it, really, and started gathering equipment. Well, I started a GoFundMe. I had no money for the equipment or nothing. And so I started a GoFundMe. My one friend said, well, what's the difference if you ask strangers for money or ask, you know, 10 of your closest friends to borrow $50 each and pay them back. So that's how I started my podcast, was literally started a GoFundMe. Got enough money for the equipment I needed, and, you know, just been creating content ever since. And my podcast, you know, is From the Depths of Darkness to the Light of Success. And at first it was just going to be around mental health and addictions and stuff, but then it just sort of started flourishing from there. And then my sort of mission statement is, you know, everyone's story is valuable at the end of the day. It doesn't matter what walk of life you come from. End of story.
That's beautiful. And what do you think has been meaningful in all of this for you, Chris? This project, this passionate thing that you're doing for people?
The number one thing for me, you know, I find therapeutic value with everyone that I talk to. You know, I get something from everyone's episode or record, whatever ones we record and stuff like that. I get something from everyone. And when I go back and listen to it and pick through it, it's just amazing to, you know, see it from someone else's point of view and not just your own.
Right. I know talking to people it's so fun, and it's so cool what happens in our brain when we have a different type of conversation with a different type of person. So with your podcasting, where are you headed? Where are you headed with all this that you're doing?
Honestly, I'm not like headed anywhere really. Like I have some ideas in mind. Like I would like to eventually, like, you know, I've seen some other people doing it to an extent, but I have an idea in the back of my mind where I would like to just travel around the country and, you know, do videos of people, like do little documentaries on people and share their story. You know, there's other people that are doing it too, but I would like to do that for myself. That's like a goal, a long-term goal of mine. You know, hopefully it happens, you know, with due time and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I'm not in this for money. If you're ever in it, the podcasting and watching the numbers, I learned that right from the get-go. Don't worry about what the numbers. As long as people are listening, people will get something from each and everyone's story. You know, I get great feedback on everyone's.
Yeah, I know, and it's meaningful. Reaching one person is meaningful. But it's so cool talking to a visionary, because you ask a question like, where are you headed? And it's cool. Like, it's like, okay, I'm living in this dream of podcasting, and I'm dreaming of like, what if something else really cool could come along? So that's interesting, right? It's fun to think and to have vision for what else could be knit into what you're doing.
And with those thoughts and stuff like that, what I suggest, to everyone else too, like if you have those thoughts or ideas and you don't plan to use them, I guess in that exact moment, write them down. And then you have an orphanage, as I've heard another guest of mine, say, you have an orphanage of these thoughts, and you can always go back to them. Whether it's, six, whatever, if you pick a day during the week or pick one time a month and go back through your orphan thoughts and, see what ones you can bring to fruition.
Yeah. And I guess if somebody's thinking, boy, I'd like to do this podcasting thing, what's your advice?
If you want to do a podcast, really sit down and think, what audience do you want? What do you want what's your end goal, I guess, at the end of the day? For mine, it's just, at the end of the day, everyone's story is valuable, like I just mentioned earlier there. So, but you have to have an idea of what you want to do, have a plan though too. And literally just go do it. You don't need a fancy $700 mic. You don't need all that. You can start it with your phone, really, like all the different apps out there and stuff like that. But I do suggest, creating consistent content though too. Put yourself out there. Tell people what you're about. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there at the end of the day either.
Yeah, exactly. So where can people find you, Chris?
People can find me, as you mentioned earlier, on Instagram at Depths of Darkside. So that's DEPTHSOFDARKSIDE. And you can follow me on my podcast page on Facebook, which is From the Depths of Darkness to the Light of Success. You can email me if you want, depthsofdarkside@gmail.com. And you can find me on basically any streaming platform that you find your podcast: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, Castbox, Stitcher, you name it, it's out there. So
everywhere. And that's really cool. So you've made yourself highly accessible. I'll put some information in the description below so you can track Chris down if you want to find out about what he's doing. Real interviews, real people, interesting stories, opportunity to learn from people about how they've learned from their own life experience. So this is a really cool podcast that Chris is doing. And we love Canadians. Like, hello, it's awesome to be another cool Canadian, right?
Yeah, whether we're in a few provinces away or not. But yeah, no, it's awesome. Just everyone, the network I've created, it's not just in Canada, it's all over the world. Like I've talked with people from India, Australia, United States, Mexico, everywhere. It's just amazing when you network with people and how everyone comes together and works as a team in a sense.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for taking some time out, Chris, and watch for it. I'm also on Chris's podcast coming up here, so I'll make sure you guys know about that, and you can check out Chris and I in action on there.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Bye, Chris.
Bye.